Hello and happy Tuesday, golf nerds. I'm Kelly in Phoenix on behalf of Team Riser Fall, here to talk to you about the FedEx Cup Championship. Let's get into it. This week is the conclusion of the FedEx Cup playoffs, and we couldn't be more excited here at Team Riser Fall. Last year, Patrick Cantlay won both the BMW Championship and the FedEx Cup Championship, both in a row, obviously, as part of the whole playoff system. Can he do it again this year? Because he did win the BMW Championship last week. My money's on no. I don't think Patrick Cantlay will pull this feat off again. This year's contest is at the East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta. And right now, Scottie Scheffler appears to be the favorite. So the scoring in the FedEx Cup is really interesting. They get a score based off of their point system. So they'll be starting off the whole tournament with a score as if they'd already been playing. So Patrick Cantlay will come in at 8 under as he starts off from the first tee. And that's actually 2 strokes behind Scottie Scheffler, who will start off at 10 under. Why? Because Scottie has more FedEx points. It just matters how many points you scored throughout the season to secure your spot in the FedEx Cup finals. So there you have it. I'm going to dive in to the Study Hub, which is exclusive to members of Team Riser Fall, and show you some of my favorite picks for DFS this week. Also, just a reminder, we have revamped our membership system. You can become a member of a single specific sport and utilize the tools specific to your favorite sport, such as golf or football, or you can become a member and have total access to all of our features. And if you're a monthly all access subscriber, you also get $20 to Fantasy Cruncher, which is a fantastic tool to utilize as you are creating multiple lineups. We are looking at the best golfers in the world, obviously. Not too worried about their finish probabilities because there's no cut. However, look at some of these salaries. They are sky high. And if you want to go after it, go after it. You're just going to have to tailor the rest of your team to fit that budget. Some of my favorites are actually Rory Mcilroy. He's coming in at 10-8 on DraftKings. I like Xander Schauffele, which I don't play him often, but I should, especially when there's no cut. He's coming in at 12-3, which is the steepest of my picks. Justin Thomas coming in at 9-4. Let's just stick with those guys here for a minute. Looking at their event history, Patrick Cantlay won this event last year. I don't see him doing it again this year. That would be a huge feat, and kudos to him if he did. But I'm looking here at Rory Mcilroy, who has come in 14th, 8th, 1st, 7th. I like those event history stats. And then his play across the last 10 events he's been in has been excellent, other than 2 weeks ago where he scored a 70. I also like, again, Xander Schauffele here. He's come in 5th, 2nd, tied for 7th. In the last events, again, he's played exceptionally well, with the exception of a couple weeks ago where he scored a 57. And Justin Thomas, 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 7th. I like all of this happening here. And then we look at his recent play, probably the spottiest out of all of them. Strokes gained, all in the positives. I like Rory's strokes gained. I like Xander's strokes gained, small blip, nothing crazy. I like Justin Thomas's strokes gained. However, look at that putting, pretty abysmal, kind of gross. However, he is managing to avoid 3 putts, which is super important here. Approaches, greens in regulation, great for everybody, nothing crazy, nothing to worry about here. Again, approach, it's looking good for Rory. Small hiccup in the 150 to 175 range. Same for Xander Schauffele. Same hiccup in the 150 to 175 range. Justin Thomas looking great in his approach. Now I'm going to go in reverse here as I talk about a few more players. 4 more here. Corey Connor, Joaquin Niemann, Adam Scott, and Collin Morikawa. We can go back and look at these 4 guys' approach stats. Greens in regulation rate 71% Corey Connor, 67% Joaquin Niemann, 66, almost 67% for Adam Scott, and 67% of greens and regulations for Collin Morikawa. You can see the approach is looking good across the board. However, short proximity for Adam Scott, struggling just a bit. When we look at these other 2, Corey Connors and Joaquin Niemann, Niemann seems to be struggling the most, over 200 yards, with Corey Connors having a bit of problem with 150 to 175, but nothing I'm worried about with these 4 here in their approach. Strokes gained, looking good, looking good. Joaquin Niemann had an excellent week here. He's picked up some strokes, happy to see it. Corey Connors, only a blip here around the green, but otherwise looking good. And Adam Scott, not looking good. He's lost a bit of strength, but played so well last week. I'm not worried about it. And Collin Morikawa looking good with a bit of struggle bus here around the green. Let's take a look at event history and last 10 events. Corey Connor has come in 22nd in 2021. He did not play in 2020. His last several events have been just fine, looking good. Joaquin Niemann came in 29th in last year's event and 20th in 2020, 27th in 2020. And then his last several events have been fine here. This 53 could have been avoidable for sure. Adam Scott, the last time he played was in 2019, where he came in 6th. He came in 5th in his last event last week, 5th prior to that, and then a big fat gross one 3 weeks ago at a 76. Collin Morikawa came in 26th in this event in 2021 and 6th in 2020. Looking at his events, he's the spottiest of this group, but I love the rest of his data. I hope that this helped you as you're choosing your lineups for this week. You can always find me on Twitter at Kelly and Phoenix. I'll also have an article up for you here shortly, and I'll embed this video in the article. Again, if you want to become a member of Team Rise or Fall, use code KIP at checkout and get $10 off your first month. Until then, fairways and greens, friends. Bye.